I'm gonna tell you, this just happened to me. It goes back a year ago. I got a referral, and this lady called me up and she said, my brother passed away in Maryland, and she said, we live in Nebraska, and I'm gonna fly out there and I'd like to see if you can help me sell his home. So I showed up, and when I showed up, there was a roll-up dumpster in the driveway, and her adult son were there, and they were loading this dumpster up with antique furniture, with framed pieces of art, all sorts of things of value. And I said, what's going on here? And she said, well, we're from Nebraska, and we had no idea. I kind of was estranged from my brother, and this was all hitting us like really hard right now. And she said, you know, we don't have the wherewithal to handle all of this, and we have to throw some things out. We can only take what we can take. And she started sobbing. And you know, it was that moment I thought, we do a lot for people. We check a lot of boxes for them. We help them sell homes, we help them buy homes, but we also help them at the time in their lives, sometimes when they need people the most to help them, right? To do something really important for them. And this lady, a lot of people, she was like on the side of the highway of life, and a lot of people were just passing her by. And I said, you know what, I'm not gonna be that person. So I said, let's go inside, let me see how I can help you. So we came in, and the house was a wreck. It was gonna sell for about $250,000, and there was a lot of equity in the house, and I said, let me fix it up for you and sell it. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I sold her house, and instead of getting her $250,000, I got her $386,000 for her house. Yep. And I was on a plane to another speaking engagement, and I got a text message on my phone from the title company. They said, we have a problem. Can you call us? It's about this transaction. So when I got off the plane, I called them. I said, what's wrong? And they said, well, we were doing the settlement remotely with her, and when we got down on the Alta where the commission was, there was a $4,000 charge that was going to the referral company. And she asked what it was. And she said, we knew what it was. We told them. We said, it's because you were a referral and the referral company gets this money. She said, that's terrible. She said, you mean I've got to pay, the referral company is taking his commission? I couldn't have done this without him. And they said, but that's just how it is in real estate. You know, people get referrals. So I didn't think anything of it. But a week later, I got this letter in the mail from her. It said, I'm going to take one last chance to bother you. I just need to take the time to tell you how much you've meant to me the past year. I've never felt the need to worry about everything because you were always there making the decisions for me. I had no trouble trusting you. I feel blessed to have been so lucky in finding you. You actually have been more like a son than a realtor. God be with you. I will never forget how much I relied on you and needed you for the entire year. And in that letter was a check for $5,000. I said to my broker, what am I going to do with this check? And he said, you're going to cash it. He said, because you managed that property for her and you did something that a lot of people would not do. And so the last thing I want to leave you with is, no matter how busy you are never too important to be nice to people.